Hello everyone, I am Priyanka, working as an Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering in St. Martin Engineering College. Today I am giving video lecture on hydraulic turbines. So what is meant by hydraulic turbines? So hydraulic turbines is nothing but, whatever the machines or any devices which are converted into a hydraulic energy into a mechanical energy is known as a turbines. So in that hydraulic turbines mainly used in the hydropower plant. So in the hydropower plant, it can be generate the electricity from falling of water. So this is the hydraulic turbine. And next I need to discuss about the applications of hydraulic turbines, advantages, disadvantages, components, classification and design accepts. So what are the applications? So applications of hydraulic turbines are nothing but, so hydroelectric power generator. In the hydroelectric power generator, we can use it for the electricity, generate the electricity. And the next industrial process. In that industrial process, it can use it for the recovery of energy from the pressure drops in the falling of water and water treatment plant. So in that water treatment plant, we can use it for the wastewater treatment plant and then dissolve water. And the next pumping station. In that pumping station, we can use for the whatever the water should be transferred from lower level to upper level, we can use for the pumping station. And mining station, we can use it for the recovery of energy in the mines. These are the applications. And the next one is the advantages. Advantages are nothing but renewable energy sources and then clean and environmentally friendly ecosystem, high efficiency, low operating costs, and then flood control and water management. These are the advantages. And next I am going to discuss about the disadvantages. Disadvantages are nothing but high installation cost and then dependency of water availability, maintenance cost, and the next ecosystem, limited location. Limited location is nothing but when the turbines are taken to the any station, we have a limited location to be applicable. And the next I am going to discuss about the classifications of turbine. The classifications of turbines are different and classifications of hydraulic turbines are different. So whatever the classifications of turbines is completely depends upon the classifications of hydraulic turbines. So in the classifications of turbine, so classifications of turbines are again two types, is nothing but classifications of again two types. So first one is a reaction turbine and then impulse turbine. So reaction turbine again is a best example of the Francis turbine and then Kaplan turbine or propeller turbine. Impulse turbine is the best example for the Pelton-Weiss turbine. So first, what is meant by impulse turbine? Impulse turbine is nothing but when the water flow will go through the inward flow only. So in that inward flow, whatever the energy should be available in the kinetic energy only. And the next reaction turbine, in the reaction turbine also water will flow only inward direction only, but in that inward direction it has to come kinetic energy as well as pressure energy. Both should be present, but in the impulse turbine only kinetic energy should be present. So these are the classifications of turbine. So best examples of impulse turbine is the Pelton wheel, and then best example for the reaction turbine is Francis turbine as well as Kaplan turbine. And the next coming to the classifications of hydraulic turbine. So hydraulic turbines are again three types, is nothing but it based on the energy of inlet as well as direction flow through the turbine as well as next high availability of heads and then specific speeds. So according to that, I need to discuss about the first one, direction flow through the runner. So in that nothing but it has classified into four types. First one is the tangential flow. Second one is the radial flow. Next one is the axial flow. And next one is the mixed flow. So according to that, tangential flow, so the tangential flow is nothing but whatever the flow through the runner is completely depends upon the tangential flow only. So in the complete, it is a impulse turbine. So in that impulse turbine, the best example of tangential flow is a Pelton wheel turbine. And the next, radial flow. Radial flow is nothing but the direction flow through the runner is coming to the complete radial direction only. So in the radial direction, again it has been classified into a two types, is nothing but inward radial flow, and next one is the outward radial flow. So inward radial flow is nothing but when the water flow goes through the outward to inward direction is nothing but the inward radial flow. The example of the inward radial flow is the Kaplan turbine. And the next one is the outward flow. The outward flow is nothing but when the water will flow through the inward to outward direction is nothing but a outward direction, outward radial flow. The best example of the outward radial flow is nothing but propeller. So this is the radial flow. The radial flow is the inward and outward. Both are the different direction. Both are the opposite directions of the runner. And then axial flow. Axial flow is nothing but when the direction of flow through the runner to the parallel to the axis of rotation is known as the axial flow. So in that axial flow is the best example for the Kaplan turbine. And then mixed flow. Mixed flow is nothing but we have a mixed flow conditions. It's applicable for the modern Francis turbines. Is nothing but mixed flow is nothing but the flow go through the runner for the rotation of the propeller as well as it leaves from the parallel axis to the rotation is known as a mixed flow. An example of mixed flow is the modern Francis turbine. And the next coming to the availability of heads. So in the next availability of heads, the availability of heads is completely depends upon the net head. So in the net head is net head. The availability of heads is coming to the next. Availability of heads. The availability of heads is completely depends upon the gross net head should be is equals to gross head minus head losses. So in the gross head minus head losses, so gross head is nothing but whatever the height of the turbine, and then HF is nothing but friction losses. So the friction losses is completely depends upon the formula. HF should be is equals to 4F LV square by 2GD. So this is the formula. So according to the availability of heads, again I heads, medium heads, low heads. So I heads is nothing but when the head net head is completely is greater than 250 meters, and then medium head is 60 to 250 meters, and then low head is less than 60 meter is known as a heads. And the next, so according to that, high head is complete best example for the Pelton wheel, and the next medium head is completely best example for the Francis, and then low heads best example for the Kaplan turbines. So according to that availabilities, and the next coming to the specific speeds. So the specific speeds again in that specific speed is completely depends upon the next classification of based on the specific speed of turbine. The specific speed of the turbine is completely depends upon the formula is nothing but n suffix is equals to n under root of p by h to the power of 5 by 4 is nothing but ns is the specific speed, and N is the speed of the turbine and P is the shaft power, H is nothing but the gross head. So this complete classification based on this formula. So according to that we have a low specific speed, medium specific speed, high specific speed. So the low specific speed is less than 30 NPHs. NPHs is nothing but net positive suction head. So according to that, the best example of the low specific head is a Pelton wheel, and the next medium specific speed is 30 to 300 NPHs is for Francis turbine, and more than 300 is Kaplan turbine. So this is the classification based on the specific speed of the turbine. And the next I am going to give the brief explanation of Pelton wheel turbine. So what is meant by Pelton wheel turbine? Pelton wheel turbine is nothing but the tangential flow of impulse turbine. So in that the flow of water should be go through the only inward flow of the direction. In that only it should be give the kinetic energy. So according to that kinetic energy of the Pelton wheel turbine, so it should be give the only one direction of flow. So according to that we can go for the whatever the energy should be give through the jet. So in that Pelton wheel turbine it should be give the I heads and then low specific speeds. So this is the Pelton wheel, and next I am giving to the component parts, and component parts of the Pelton wheel turbines are nothing but we have a 6 component parts is nothing but penstock, nozzle, spear, runner with bucket, casing, and the next braking nozzle. So next what is meant by penstock? Penstock is nothing but is a rigid pipe. So in the rigid pipe whatever the water will go through the reservoir. So in the reservoir we can get the water from the reservoir, and we need to transfer the turbine for the I heads. We can use it for the penstock. And the next coming to the nozzle. Nozzle is nothing but we can use in the kinetic energy whichever increase the flow of water. So whatever the increasing of kinetic energy we can use in the flow of water in the turbine sections. So next I am give a brief of these component parts is nothing but see that penstock, nozzle as well as braking of jet, runner, bucket and then casing. So this is a penstock. Penstock is nothing but a rigid pipe. So the rigid pipe is completely depends upon the water flow of the jet. So in that water flow of the jet it coming to the through the runner. So coming to the runner. So this is the penstock, and then nozzle. Nozzle it should be give the whatever the energy should be give the increasing of the water flow is the kinetic energy, and this is the nozzle. And next coming to the spear. Spear is nothing but spear is nothing but a conical disc. So the conical disc which are operated by hand wheel as well as which are operated by axial rotation. So which are depends upon the size of the axis. So the spear it has a 2 directional flows is nothing but for spear is in the forward direction. So when the water should be flow through the runner is go through the water level should be reduced. When the spear is in the backward direction, so in the backward direction the whatever the water should be run through the jet, so it can be increased. So that is the spear. And next one I am going to discuss about the runner with bucket. So the runner with bucket is completely depends upon the nozzle as well as penstock. So the shape of the runner with bucket is a double hemispherical cup or bowl. So according to that the runner with bucket, so in that we have a number of buckets which are spaced for the axial forces. So according to that we can go for the runners. So whatever the runners is completely divided into a 2 symmetrical parts. So that 2 symmetrical part divided the walls is known as a splitter. The splitter is nothing but whatever the water will go through the runner through the bucket is nothing but splitter. And the next one is the casing. Casing is nothing but there is no use of casing to perform in the hydraulic function. So according to that hydraulic function, we cannot use it for the casing in the inner part of the Pelton wheel turbine. So according to that, casing is used for the to protect the whatever the water forces, as well as it is a safeguard against the accidents. So and the next, it can be more used in the Francis turbines. And the next one, braking of jet. The braking of jet is nothing but when the so much of water force should come through the penstock to nozzle, sometimes it should be closed. So how it will be closed is nothing but when the spear in the forward direction, according to that the braking of jet should be closed. So in that we need to remove that nozzle. So we have a one option is nothing but we can insert one small nozzle into a jet, then we can remove the quantity of amount of water we can remove. So these are the component parts. See that penstock, nozzle, braking of jet, runner and casing. This is the process. And the next, coming to the component parts is finished. Next, I am giving to the design accepts. Design accepts are nothing but we have so many design accepts. According to that, we can consider only 6 design accepts are nothing but first one is the velocity of jet, next velocity of wheel, next angle of deflection, next velocity of jet, velocity of wheel, angle of deflection and mean diameter, jet ratio, bucket dimension, number of jets. So first, what is mean by velocity of jet? So in that velocity of jet, so it's completely depends upon the whatever the water flow go through the runner to the bucket, then we can get the velocity of jet. So in that velocity of jet we can find out the formula is nothing but V1 should be is equals to CV under root of 2GH. So this is the formula to find out the velocity of jet. So what is meant by CV is nothing but coefficient of velocity, and then G is the acceleration force and H is the gross head. So according to that we can find out. So the CV value should in between 0.98 to 0.99 we can take for the coefficient of velocity. And the next, velocity of wheel. The velocity of wheel, the formula of velocity of wheel should be is equals to mu is equals to pi into under root of 2GH. So what is meant by pi? Pi is nothing but a speed ratio. It completely depends upon the ratio of the wheel. And the next, G is we already know acceleration, H is nothing but gross head. So according to that, the pi value in should between 0.43 to 0.48, and then H we already know H should be is equals to gross head should be is equals to net head should be is equals to gross head minus friction losses. So according to that, HF should be is equals to 4F LV square by 2GD. This is the formula of friction losses. And the next, angle of deflection. The angle of deflection is nothing but we can find out the angle of deflection when in the striking of the runner. So when there is no angle of deflection is given to the whenever we solving the problem, we can take angle of deflection. It should be in between 160 to 170 degrees. And the next, mean diameter. So mean diameter is nothing but we can calculate the mean diameter of mu should be is equals to pi dn by 60. So according to that we can find out the mean diameter is should be is equals to 60 into u by pi n. So in that pi n is nothing but n we already know speed of the bucket, and then we already know velocity of well, we can calculate that. And the next, jet ratio. Jet ratio is nothing but whatever the ratio of mean dia of the wheel to jet dia of the wheel is known as a jet ratio, is nothing but M should be is equals to capital D by small d. This is the jet ratio. So according to that, the M value should between 11 to 16. Approximately we can take jet ratio value is 12. So that is the jet ratio. And the next bucket dimension. So in the bucket dimensions we have a two types of bucket dimensions, is nothing but number of jets as well as dimensions. So in that number of jets we can find out the formula. Jet should be is equals to 15 plus capital D by small d. So according to that we can find out the number of jets and the number of buckets. So in the number of buckets we can calculate according to the width as well as depth. So the width of the bucket should be in between 5 into d, is nothing but small d is nothing but the wheel dia, and the next depth should be in between 1.2 into d, this is the depth of the dia. So these are the design aspects of Pelton wheel turbines, okay. And then so these are mainly used in the calculation part of the Pelton wheel turbine. So in that the main part, first we need to find out the velocity of wheel and then velocity of jet and then angle of deflection. If there is no angle should be given, we can take it as a angle of deflection. It should be in between 160 to 170 degrees. And then mean dia, the mean dia it should be is equals to u is equals to pi d n by 60. According to that we can find out the diameter of the wheel. And jet ratio, the jet ratio is nothing but the ratio of mean dia to and then pitch dia is known as a jet ratio, is nothing but M should be is equals to capital D by small d. The M value is in between 11 to 16. If not, we can take it as a 12. And then bucket dimension, the bucket dimensions are number of jets as well as width. So in that formula, jet should be is equals to 15 plus capital D by small d, and then number of jets according to that width and depth we can take it as. So I already discussed velocity of inlet. So V1 should be is equals to CV into under root of 2GH. So CV is the coefficient of velocity 0.98 to 0.9, H is the net head, and the next is the velocity of wheel. So the velocity of wheel, it should be depends upon speed ratio, the speed ratio value in between 0.43 to 0.48, and the angle of deflection. So in that angle of deflection they are not mentioned any angle, we can take it as a 165 degrees. And the next mean dia, so the mean dia we can calculate it as a pi d n by 60 or d is equals to 60 u by pi n. And the next jet ratio, so the definition of jet ratio is nothing but pitch dia to mean dia is nothing but jet ratio. So this is the jet ratio. So and the next is the bucket dimension. So in the bucket dimensions, so it completely depends upon the width as well as breadth. So in that width should be in between 3 to 4 times of the dia, is nothing but 3 into d, as well as length should be L should be is equals to 2 to 3 diameters of the jet dia. So this is for, so according to this for, so we can use for the dimension, we can use for that breadth. B should be is equals to 3 to 4 into dimensions, and then thickness should be is equals to 2 to 3 dimensions we can use for the thickness, as well as jet dia we can go for the between 0.8 to 1.2, this is the jet dia. And the next one is number of jets. So according to the number of jets we can calculate it as a number of jets which are depends on which are rotating on that runner, we can calculate it. And the next number of buckets, the number of buckets jet should be is equals to 15 plus d by 2d. So according to that we can calculate it. So d is nothing but pitch dia, small d is nothing but dia of the jet, M should be is nothing but jet ratio. We already learned that jet ratio, M should be is equals to capital D by small d. And the next velocity of triangles of Pelton wheel. So in the velocity of triangles of Pelton wheel is completely depends upon the inward direction. So in that inward direction, so we have only velocity of flow in the V1 direction. There is no V2 direction. V1 should be is there. V2 should be is equal to 0. So according to that, V1 should be is equals to VU1. V1 is nothing but velocity of jet, and then next VU1 is nothing but velocity of wheel at the one directional, and VR1 is nothing but reel, velocity of reel. Wheel is different, reel is different. So according to that, we can go for angle of deflection, and the next beta and V1, VF1, V2, this all are depends upon the whatever the water strike through the runner, the term should be comes. So next, so according to that, design accept ratios we already discussed. So let's see that in the videos. So same penstock, nozzle, as well as braking of jet, runner, bucket, casing. So these are the component parts we already discussed. And the next, coming to the design accepts. Yes, design accepts are nothing but the main importance of the design accepts of the Pelton wheel turbines are, see that velocity of jet, velocity of wheel, as well as angle of deflection, and the next mean dia to pitch dia. So these are the angle of deflection as well as mean dia to pitch dia. So these are the parameters which design accepts. So this is, so coming to the PPT. So I discussed all those topics of complete topics of the turbines as well as Pelton wheel turbine and classification, and the next component parts, advantages, disadvantages, applications. So these are we already discussed in that slides. So the Pelton wheel turbine mainly used in the heavy loaded cases we can use for the Pelton wheel turbine. So these are the main topics we are discussed in the turbines. So application, advantages, disadvantages, classification, components and design accept. So according to that components and design accept, we can calculate the Pelton wheel turbine according to the dimensions and then process. So and the next, coming to the velocities, velocity triangles, we can find out according to the component parts as well design accept. So this is my topic